We start off in an alleyway with people, what looks to be students, beating a fellow student. The big fat student asks the high, who does he think he is? The small student replies, why? The big student got angry. He then repeatedly slapped him while asking why did he ran away from him after being called many times. He kept slapping him, while saying that people learn after getting beaten. A blonde guy grabs him by the shoulder. The blondie asks him what is he doing to his friend and that he's going too far. He calls the blondie by his name, Byung-hoon. Byung-hoon asks the student, whose name is Haring, to let him have a look while asking if he is alright. He told Haring that his face is a mess, and he's been avoiding them often. Byung-hoon was glad to see him as he was waving at him, but he'll be very disappointed if he does it again, and asked why was he running away, as he is being threatened and being held in the head painfully. Haring gave him his money. Byung-hoon told him that he'll be borrowing the money as he walks away with his gang. Haring breathes heavily. He looks at his watch saying that he is really late. He rushes home. As he arrived at home, he quickly went to his console, grabbed the controllers and wore his VR headset. Sets off to connect to a virtual reality.
Connection complete.
After logging in, he connects into the game, where we are shown is character who is level 99. A player gleefully announces that Haring is here, and they were waiting for him. A menacing-looking monk with beads stares at him. He lost the terrifying look, then asks Haring why was he so late. Haring said sorry. A female character then apologizes to them because she'll be logging out early. Haring tells his mates that they will finish it within the hour. The players like his confidence and wishing for a good outcome for the quest, and they set off in their accepted quest. The game is called Quest Hero, an online VR game that has taken over the market for the whole community of gamers around the world. The game consists of huge amount of freedom, many different varieties of clearing quests, a game with massive amount of positive reviews from its players, and Haring is one of its famous users. The girl player questions Haring, why is he going in a different way? The monk tells her that she should just trust and follow him. She agreed, as they are going through different paths and ways to the quest. He gives out instructions that they should follow him from one tempo behind. Follow him in a line. The girl was amazed that they made it to the path without encountering any enemies. The monk tells her that this is only the beginning of it. She got a little bit confused. He tells her that the real thing has just begun. After entering combat, Haring does an internal monologue. He started the game out of curiosity. As he went along playing the game, he experienced varieties of patterns and methods of clearing. He achieved many recognition from those achievements, and he became what he is today.
All clear.
The group rejoiced and celebrated because the quest went well that only lasted 40 minutes. The girl thanked Haring as he was the reason why she won't be late to her plans. He replied by thanking them because they followed him. The big bruiser monk denies that, and tells them that it was all thanks to his help that we're able to clear it. The short player approves of that and tells him that he was a great leader. Haring was taken aback. He then thanked them for those compliments. The girl tells the group she'll be heading out first, and she'll be seeing them tomorrow. The short guy says he'll get going as well. The big guy tells them that he has work, so he has to leave, then says his goodbyes. Haring was surprised to see them leave already, and the last big guy tells Haring he can't be late tomorrow, then sees him off. Haring says his goodbyes as well. He was the only one left in the room. Now that it's over, he asks himself if he should get going as well. But just as he's about to leave, a dark figure appears in front of his eyes with a menacing look. Haring questions on why there's still a monster, and says that he's never seen anything like it before. The dark figure makes its move by dashing to Haring really close. Haring looks at the dark figure's face, and says that the stare it gave is not a good sign. He tries to beat it anyway in an attempt to leave, but was unable to move due to the dark figure's strong force impairing his movements. Haring's character wasn't listening to him. He then shouts to himself that his character is disappearing. Everything went silent. Then Haring wakes up from a pool of water, looking at his surroundings. Haring is now in a different place, and asks if it's a newly created area. Seeing his reflection from the pool of water, Haring was shocked as he realizes that all his items are now gone. He thought it was crazy and believed it was a dream because none of it made sense. He wonders if it was the cause of hacking. Haring asks to himself how should he tell his guild members because he knows he is missing. While having a crisis, a mysterious man approaches him from behind. Haring sees it and claims it's another monster. The timing couldn't get any worse as Haring only wants to escape from the situation. The monster makes a move and slashes Haring. Haring now in a bad situation. He tries to log out as he dodges the monster's attacks. For a moment he was in shock as he realizes that he can't log out. The monster kept slashing, but Haring also kept trying to log out. The monster almost sliced Haring in half. Luckily, he was able to dodge it. Still in shock, Haring was now wondering what is going on right now. Another monster dashes to him and cuts Haring's arm, which leaves him bleeding. Haring felt the cut and the pain right after. Realizing this, he could not believe that the hit he took could hurt him and assumes that it's only a game. Haring couldn't believe all of this is completely real. His heart beats faster than ever as now he truly acknowledged that he is in a real world. Haring is losing his mind. He doesn't think it makes sense. How did all of this happen? He was sure that he was playing the game. As he was about to be attacked by the enemy, he immediately reacted and dodged the attack. He questioned what kind of enemy is he facing. He was surprised that they can speak. The masked enemy keeps attacking Haring, calling him a rat bastard. Haring concluded that the enemy wasn't a mob or a monster. He then shouts that they should stop for a moment. As he was pleading, he tripped on a rock, falling down. The enemy then sees an opening to attack, telling Haring to die, as they're about to decapitate him. An individual told them to stop. A tall masked man standing beside a girl. He stopped them from executing Haring. He then orders them to lift Haring up. A girl then approaches him, as Haring is standing up. She asks him for his identification. Arang thinks it is weird that she is quite familiar for him. As he was about to state his name, the man tells him to stop dilly-dallying and to answer the question. Haring nervously tried to stutter his name, as he doesn't know how to describe and explain all of this. His introduction gets cut off by an enemy attack. One of the masked men's head gets cut off, and then drops and rolls over to Haring's foot. Then a stomp was heard from behind them. A giant menacing man glares at them. One of the masked men exclaimed that it was an ambush. The masked men take stance to fight off the savage enemy. He orders them that they shouldn't back down. They replied with a yes sir. The savage man then slices all three of them at once. A drop of blood goes to Haring's forehead. His heart beats faster as he can't believe the situation he's in. He can't believe a person just died right in front of him, which made assured him that this isn't a game anymore. The masked man yells and calls the man a savage. He attacks recklessly at the savage man. He then gets denied as he got repelled by the savage. Haring sees the savage man going towards them and that he should run away. The man then approaches the girl and then attacked her. She is sent flying after taking the hit. As the girl struggles to get up, Haring thinks that if he leaves her behind she'll die. He asks himself if he'll be able to help her. At the same time, he thinks of himself and that he doesn't even know her. He thinks of running away instead. All of a sudden, a fallen soldier grabs his legs, begging Haring to save her. The soldier lost his consciousness, presumably dying in the process. Haring was about to change his mind when all of a sudden, a quest panel shows up to him. The quest requires Haring to save the princess named Yuta, a familiar name to Haring. He remembers it is the same as the NPC Yuta from the game. If Haring fails the quest, it will result in his death. He pants as he now has no choice but to save the princess. Princess Yuta's situation is still getting beaten down by the monster, but still chooses to press on and keep fighting. The monster with a menacing look now has to kill the princess. As it makes its move, within a flash Haring blocks the attack of the monster. He then tells the princess hurry and run. The savage man grins then breaks Haring's block and deals another heavy attack, sending him flying to the ground. Haring quickly gets up and blocks a heavy attack from the savage man, pushing him back further. The monster jumped to Haring to deliver the finishing strike, but he dodged this. Haring remembered this pattern of attack from Hero's guards. He concentrates for a moment, psyching up himself. After another quick succession of blocks and dodges, Haring finally sees the pattern of the monster's heavy attacks. He sees the similarities between his current situation with his previous encounters, such as the hero's guards. Using this information, he believes he can now take down the savage man. Harang can see through his attacks and movements. He blocks the attacks perfectly, but how could he fend him off? He sees the girl standing up and couldn't believe that she hasn't yet ran away from the situation. The savage quickly attacks him with a heavy swing. Harang completely blocks the powerful strike. He struggles to lift it up as it is a very heavy attack. Harang can't hold on much longer of fending off the monster. The man laughs as Harang is struggling to defend against him. The savage then suddenly gets stabbed in the back. He coughed blood and continues to bleed. He was stabbed by the girl. Harang was in complete awe as the predicament has been dealt with. As Harang drops his sword at the ground, the savage man then clenches his fist and turns, punching him and sending him off flying. He then immediately attacks the girl with a powerful back fist. Harang struggles to get up. He then hears the man approaching her. The man approaches the girl with a mighty stomp. As he was struggling, someone rushes from behind, quickly attacks him with an angry attack. The mysterious man slashes him in half with one swing. Harang couldn't believe it, but tall person took down the savage man. The man then carefully picked up the princess and tells her to wake up and that she can't die. The princess slowly opened her eyes. The man asked her if she is all right. The princess replied with the name of the man she calls soon. Upon looking at the situation, Harang gets a pop-up message from the quest, telling him that he succeeded. However, it gives a message that it is not over and that there will be more assassins that are after the princess. After looking at it, Harang was left wondering how is a quest window appearing right in front of him, as all of it felt real and someone just died right in front of his eyes. As he appears traumatized, Princess Yuta asked what his name is. He tells her that he is Kang Harang. Princess Yuta tells Harang that she is in his debt and that she will repay him if he follows her to get the reward. Harang questions himself for a moment, but follows her anyway. Soon tells the princess they don't even know him and asks why he is going with them. The princess tells him that he doesn't have to be that distant and if he was planning to hurt her, he would have done it. But before they move on, Princess Yuta suggests that they should bury the fallen soldiers first. Soon then finds a suitable place for them. The night approaches. After burying the soldiers, the princess tells them that after her father was murdered, everyone turned their backs on her, but they still protected her till the end even though they had no connection to her. Soon then says that they are royal guards and were remarkable warriors who earned their honor. Yuta said honor is cruel thing, and the ones who abandoned it are living in luxury, but the ones who kept their honor were ended up buried here. With blank faces, she tells them to head out. In another clearing, 3 ominous figures await in an area to plot their next move. As one of them tells Gorian that no matter how long they wait, they can't see the princess, and that the savage that went out to scout disappeared as well. The other figure looked vicious and says what the savage did was betrayal, but Gorian denies. The skinny guy asks if they can trust the savages because it's suspicious. Gorian wasn't walking about it and thinks that the princess has already escaped them. The vicious man insists that he can catch the princess. The skinny man questions him and tells him to chase her down right now, but Gorian tells them that they don't have to and claims that they already know where she's headed. What will happen next?
Thanks for staying in tune with our manga recap. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more updates from our content.